What is up, everyone? Mike the Computer Guy here, and today I am going to teach you about Proxmox. You've heard me talk about it in other videos about how you can fire up your ad blockers within Proxmox, and today we will cover what exactly is Proxmox. So, I will throw the link down below, but you can get Proxmox over at proxmox.com. And basically, what it is, it's kind of like Hyper-V, it's kind of like VMware, but it's an open source virtualization environment so that you can fire up various OSs and containers on anything that can handle virtualization. Basically, I have it behind me. It's running on an Intel NUC, and I will show you a little bit about it here shortly. You can go over here, you can get this Proxmox virtual environment via the downloads section here at Proxmox, and what you'll want to do is get the ISO installer for Proxmox. You can download it. It's about a gig and a half, I believe. Yeah, 1.57 gigabytes. And once it's downloaded, you can burn it onto a flash drive. I prefer to use Rufus. That's my ISO creator of choice. So you can basically choose the ISO and then pop in a flash drive and then hit start, and it will make a bootable USB for you so that you can fire it up on your virtualization device. So let's get into what it actually does. So I'm going to jump over here. I've got my Proxmox environment. I'm logged in here. As you can see, the data center, this PVE is my Intel NUC, and it's showing the CPU usage, RAM, HD space. As you can tell, I have three things running on it currently right here. These are LXC containers, which are similar to Docker containers, and they kind of adjust as you go and utilize the like RAM and CPU as it's needed versus with a like a virtual machine like these. These are actual like Linux, and this is a Windows machine. That's a Linux machine as well. They set aside the resources and always use it, whereas an LXC container, you can say, I want to use 8 gigs of RAM on this container, but it won't reserve that. It will use that as it's needed so that it's not completely allocated for something else, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to describe. So if it needs 8 gigs, it'll use 8 gigs. If it doesn't, it'll only use 2 gigs, and it'll free up those other 6 for use by something else. But basically, once it's going, you've got Proxmox going here, and you can fire up various types of Linux distros or Windows machines. All you have to do is load them into your volumes, the volumes being storage allocated to hold these ISOs and things. So you can download the ISOs, you can upload them here. I've got them in ISO images. You've also got CT templates. CT is your little LXC containers. You can upload your own custom ones, or there's built-in templates here. Yeah, basically, there's turnkey items if you just need something very specific, but you don't feel like building it yourself. There's tons of options to choose from. As you can see, there's just, you want a WordPress site, click this, download it, fire it up. But a very helpful thing, as you can see, this one has multiple dots here. They are tagged basically, and they came from Proxmox VE helper scripts over here. So what I have done is, like, this is a Unify controller. If you wanted a Unify controller, you would just go over here. I will also post this link in below the video. But you click on that, you take this item here, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just say I want to make a pie hole. Since I already have a Ubiquiti going, I would just take this shell script, which I copy, and then I would go over here to my Proxmox main item, open the shell, simply paste that, boom, hit enter, and everything's already pre-configured and made, so that basically all I have to do is hit next, next, next. Let's choose the default settings, and away she goes. And it's creating this LXC container, which when it's finished will be a fully running Pi-hole instance. So as you can see, that's incredibly easy to fire up these little LXC containers, especially if they are pre-made and over here in the helper scripts. There is tons to choose from. As you can see, there's just all kinds of things you can virtualize with your Proxmox instance. So yeah, here's my Pi-hole. You've got AdGuard Home, which we've talked about before. There's other various types of ad blockers in here. If you wanted to run Docker, boom, there you go. Click it, run it. There's operating systems. You just click them. This is the full VM. This is the LXC. These are more than likely probably Ubuntu server, which is more than likely going to be like a GUI-less server instance, especially these LXC containers. They are basically headless instances. I can show you one right here. I believe this Portainer is running on one. I'm connected via the console to my Portainer instance. Enter. There we go. Portainer login. Let's try root. It's been a while since I logged into this. And we're in. There we go. So let's see what I got running on here. Sudo docker ps. And there we go. As you can see, I've got a few nodes for pre-search node, Portainer, Heimdall. I've got that running there. Basically, those are, here's my Heimdall instance. It's just a fancy GUI where I can throw things in there and get to them quickly, like my Unify controller right here. Boom, sign in. Ah, wrong password. I just rebuilt this the other day as I had it hosted elsewhere, but got tired of paying for Hostify. It's a great service, but I wanted to host it myself, so here's my switches. Here's my one little access point that's running on this, and of course you can see my client devices. But Proxmox, here we go, and Pi-hole, it is done configuring. If I go back over here, it should still have that open. Would you like to add Unbound? No. Unbound is basically DNS. It's a special type of DNS filtering service. You can add it if you want, but for now, for time's sake, I'm not going to mess with it. It's telling me I can access my instance right here. I'm going to copy that. Let's throw it up here. Boom, we are in. There's the Pi-hole instance, ready to go. But we will cover up how to do Pi-hole and how to do ad blocking here in the near future. But for now, here's Proxmox. Basically, you get the ISO, you put it on a flash drive, you throw it on a blank machine that can do virtualization. You might want to check. Most CPUs now can do it, but you usually have to turn it on within the BIOS. So go into your BIOS, choose virtualization as an option, turn it on, and then you'll be able to install something like Proxmox Hyper-V or VMware. Proxmox, I like it. It's free. You can use it at home. And it's a good way to play around with how to do virtualization for all sorts of things. Say you want to mess with Ubuntu, we've got that here. We can start it up. It's now starting the console. Ubuntu server is booting. There we go. Actually, this is not server. This is actually Ubuntu itself. And there it is, virtualized right there within this tiny little Intel NUC I've got behind me. And if you decide you don't want to run that and burn some resources, you can shut it down the happy way via the console itself, or you can just stop the machine. And within a few minutes, it will stop. I've got my script tester, which is a Windows machine. We can start that. We can take a look at it. I use this to test Windows scripts that I'm going to push out and deploy at the customer level. Say I want to test a script that, clears up hard drive space when a certain amount is detected that it is not free, and boom, and there we go. We are in Windows 11 instance right here running in Proxmox. We will go ahead and shut that down gracefully. And there it is. We've also got Python dev. That's another instance of Linux that I've got running for just kind of doing a bit of development work. But I've got my storage, which is SMB storage, which is basically a file share here on site so that I can just store things on that drive if I don't want to eat up my hard drive space. Basically, these videos that I'm recording. And yeah, that's Proxmox in a nutshell. You can do various types of great things with this, and I definitely recommend it if you are just getting into virtualization and working with tech, and you just kind of want to play around. Maybe for your home lab, you can host all sorts of things on here. There are tons of tutorials online, and there you go. So I am Mike the Computer Guy, and I hope everybody enjoyed this video. And if you've got any type of request and want to dive more into Proxmox and what it can do, I would be glad to do that. Feel free to comment below. All right. Have a wonderful day.